Our, this is happening. It's live TV.
Right.
Our dear friend of the show, Shane Rogers, is back in the Virginia This Morning kitchen, ready to create some lemon icebox cookies. It's a great recipe to add to your dessert collection. You keep calling them meltaways. So what's the difference
Well,
from an icebox to a meltaway?
the icebox is the idea that you can kind of make them ahead, roll them up,
Okay.
and leave them in the fridge, and when you need to slice them up, they're ready to go.
Okay.
So they're not mutually exclusive. The reason they're meltaways is because we're going to use a lot of cornstarch in here, and that kind of, and confectioner's sugar. We're using confectioner's sugar instead of granulated. So that kind of gives it, the more granulated sugar you give it, the more crunch it's going to have. With confectioner's sugar, it's going to be a little bit softer. It's going to melt away in your mouth.
Okay. Well,
anyway,
there
so,
you have it. Now we know.
Right? I've got 1 cup of butter in here, and I've creamed it for about 2 minutes already because that's a really good way. That's the other thing that's going to give this cookie a really fine crumb. If you just kind of started mixing it in and threw the flour in and didn't cream the butter, and I'm going to add 1.25 cups of confectioner's sugar and some lemon zest.
If you didn't cream the butter, you'd have an old brick.
It'd be kind of, yes, because it gets a little airy when you cream it. But yeah, if you just put everything in. So we're just going to let this mix for a little bit until it kind of comes together. We've got the oven on at 350, and we've got some already in there ready to go.
Yum.
Well, this is doing its business. I've got 2 cups of flour in here. I'm going to add cornstarch, 1/4 cup, and a half teaspoon of salt, just to kind of kick the lemon up. We don't want a ton. It's not going to be a salty cookie, but so we're going to give that a good whisk. Another way to make it airy. You could sift it, but the whisking works great. So this is coming together. Looks great.
All right. We have about 2.5, 3 minutes.
So we're going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and an egg yolk.
Okay.
Pop that in. Give it a quick mix.
So technically you've done your wet ingredients now.
Yes, wet ingredients are in. Let's get this going a little bit. Anyway, once it comes together, we're going to pop in all of the flour all at once. Actually, I'm going to spin that.
Oh, that is a surprise.
So you don't have to be careful and like put it in 3 additions or anything like that. Pop this in, let it go, let it come together. When it does, you're going to pull it out on here. If we had a little more time, I'd show you, but it's kind of tedious. And you're going to roll it up on the cutting board until it's in a log.
Okay.
You should get 2 logs about this size, which is probably a little less than 12 inches, maybe 10 inches long and 2 inches across.
Out of the recipe that you've shared with us.
Yes, exactly. Roll these up, pop them in the fridge.
Okay.
And then you can bake them then. You can bake them a week from now. Because it's sugar and lemon and salt, it'll be fine. It won't, it'll probably stay in there for like a month.
If I just have a hankering for some cookies, I can go to my log thing.
You could go and make like 4 of them and put them in the oven and yeah.
Could I freeze one of those?
I haven't frozen it. I
Okay.
think you could, but I haven't done it, so I'd hate to say yes, you can.
Freeze at your own risk.
Yes.
Okay.
They do great in the fridge. So we're going to cut off the end just so they're a little nicer.
Oh.
And we're going to cut these just shy of a 1/2 inch. And
Pretty.
if you want, you can reshape them a little bit, get them more circle-like, but they're going to kind of bake up at their own they'll puff up just a teeny bit. You don't have
They
to worry
don't
about.
puff a whole lot, though.
They
do
don't,
they?
but you see they're kind of more roundish than I'm kind of making them credit
Okay.
for. And if you wanted, our friend Martha says you could put these in a paper towel roll in the fridge, and then they would stay rounder. They wouldn't get that flat side up.
How do you get all that in a paper? Oh, I guess you could cut it
You
in
could
half.
cut open it, and then just let it kind of, like a cuff bracelet.
I like to think of them as rustic.
Right?
Right?
Right. I prefer that too.
Okay.
So
These are ready to go in.
These are ready to go in the oven.
Do you want me to do the door?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. There we go. So they go in, 350.
350 for about 12 minutes.
Okay. Yours come out. Now these
come
are
out.
fresh up, piping out of the oven.
Yes.
What do I do?
And we're gonna sprinkle some powdered sugar over them.
Do I just do it?
Yep. Take the bowl out of the way and just shake them on there. Remember, they're rustic, so however much you
I feel like
like.
I'm wasting a lot of sugar by doing it
It's
everywhere.
$1.25 a bag. Waste away.
All right, and make sure you get a lot of good sugar on
Get
there.
a lot of good sugar on there because you do it on there when they're hot. It's going to soak into the cookie. I wish I could show you some that I kind of mistimed last night, and I shook the sugar on when they were stone cold.
Oh.
And I was putting
That
them
sounds
out.
like a blues song.
Right,
I shook
exactly.
the sugar when it was
stone cold. Anyway, so and it didn't stick. It just looks like a plain old basic cookie. So do it when it's hot.
Okay.
Get it to soak in. If you want to try one, I would try one of those because those are super hot.
Going to be hot. I have a question.
Okay.
We made these as lemon. What if I could you infuse a different flavor?
You totally
This
could.
recipe could be.
I'd add rosemary to it if for a little savory thing. You can leave the lemon out. You just have sugar cookies.
Okay.
Kind of, the sky's the limit. If you had some cocoa,
Orange?
you could. Orange would be orange and chocolate.
All right.
Put those two together.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a good basic method recipe to kind of change up with what you have in the house.
Well, it was super easy, and I love the idea of having cookies at the ready. Thank
Right?
you. Appreciate it.